Meeting to order, and let the record show that we're only missing Chair Prochnow, for the others are in attendance. Hopefully everybody got a chance to read the minutes. There a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
The second?
Second.
Motion made second to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Public comment, Dustin?
Nothing.
Okay, items placed at the request of Randy? None. Commissioners report.
Well, we'll start with Brent, to let you know what's happening on the field side for the month of December.
No, basically, we haven't had a lot of snow. We've been out doing a lot of brushing, cleaning up the right of ways. We moved a lot of rock to the outlying shops. We have been doing some plowing, still doing some patching. And pretty much, doing a lot of brushing and maintenance on the state highways and the county highways. If we added anything else, it's been pretty simple,
Pretty quiet, so.
pretty quiet on
It's a good thing.
the snow, which is a good thing. We're saving money on that aspect and getting a lot of things done, brushing that we haven't been able to do in the last few years.
So you got a big pile of sand out there, is that normally that big? Or like salt sand?
At this point,
Usually not at this point.
at this point, it's usually a lot smaller, but
We usually start with that same amount,
Okay.
roughly.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit more than what we usually have, but
yeah, every year we have that, about that amount, but
That's a nice pile there.
it's a nice pile and we'll probably have some for next year. We won't have to make
I
as
guess
much, if not any.
I
So
was
do you
gonna
have to
ask you,
cover it then? You
Yeah,
know,
we have to cover it, yep.
Okay.
You had so much time to do it?
We have to cover it in April.
Oh,
so by April 15th, I believe it is.
Otherwise it gets too hard and.
Well,
There's a salt leak.
there's
Yeah.
salt
In-
leaks out.
Environmental.
Oh, it's got salt in it.
When you're talking about the salt, I was listening to the TV, and there's some neighborhoods up in the cities that are doing away with salt on sidewalks, just putting some grit down because of environmental, but I don't know how the roads could be done any different without salt. I'm not sure, but that's.
Well, that's pretty much what we put on our county roads. We only have 5% salt in our county salt sand. But on all the state roads, the state wants salt,
They do. Pure salt, no.
pure salt,
Well, there's a big push for brines.
and we're using brine, salt brine, which is water and salt mixed together. And then, when it gets really cold out, we have to put sand out because the salt doesn't do anything. So, other than that, I mean, we're just been doing some patching and, minor repairs here and there that we need to, and otherwise, we've been real busy brushing. I mean, we've been cleaning up a lot of stuff. But any questions on your end for that? I know that one of our, of course, the best year to use it, and we have one of our boom mowers down, which isn't getting fixed. I think we talked about that last meeting. But sure would have been nice to have it, but it is what it is. You don't have it, you don't have it, so you make do and a little more manual labor, good exercise.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, I don't know if Brent mentioned it or not, but, so we're gonna schedule, relocating that 5/8 inch material tile that's out at the Albright pit. I know I discussed this with you from previous about possibly selling it. We're actually just gonna move it and not sell it, and utilize it ourselves for future use. So we're gonna schedule that probably here in the next couple weeks, to try to get that,
Week of the 21st, we're gonna move that as long as the weather cooperates,
where you move it to?
same area.
right in the same pit, but just, yeah, where we've already screened the sand out of there.
Okay.
So do you have to use like trucks or just end loaders getting a bucket and load
Loader.
up it?
It's just gonna be an end loader,
Okay.
one guy and an end loader, so. Won't be much cost involved with it, and basically, I feel it'd be better suited if we just hold on to it, utilize it for ourselves.
Sure.
instead of selling it, so. That's the plan of attack. We do have two, brine tanks that are in our salt shed, that we're looking at trying to relocate at some point in time.
Probably not till spring.
Yeah.
Until we use the material out of it.
Yeah, they were put there at one point in time where we would house excess, like brine additives. But I'd like to move that where our actual brine maker is, so we can try different,
Blends.
recipes, let's just say, for maybe calcium chloride and having that tank there where it blends it as it's being made. So it makes more sense to have those two tanks there instead of purchasing new ones, so. That'll be scheduled here probably, like I said, in the springtime. But other than that, I think that's all we have on the field side.
Any questions on your end?
Dan wants to let you guys know what top operations.
I put together a few figures in a few days, just for curiosity. Fuel usage between 2022 and 2023 for the months of November and December. And it's pretty good news, actually. If you look at the 2022 section here, in November, we used 12,386 gallons, gasoline was 1139, December was 22,644 gallon. Gas was 1231, average price per gallon of the diesel was 375, and gasoline was 247. So if you multiply the gallons times the cost, you get 131,000 for the diesel, just for those 2 months. And almost 6,000 for gas gives us a total of $137,260 it cost us last year for the months of November and December. Then you go to this year, November, we used 10,547 gallons, and a lot of that was used to transport salt, sand, and stuff to different shops, and using trucks for hauling. Gasoline was 1035 gallon. In December, we only used 7,158 gallons of diesel, 1,830 gallons of unleaded. That gives you a total of 17,705 gallon of diesel and 3,865 gallon of gas. Total expense was 53,469 of diesel, 6,589 of gas. So our total expense for fuel for the months of November, December in 2023 were 60,058. And that gives us a savings over last year of $77,157. So no snow is good.
That is,
You bet.
yeah,
Just so you guys.
Figured
that was gonna look like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Plus you don't have the overtime.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
So there's more savings than just the
Just the,
77.
that's, yeah, right,
Yeah.
that's fuel.
Saving on the trucks.
Yeah, breakdowns.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
So does every outlying shop have its own, like, your fuel tanks?
Mhm.
And they're just filled up by whoever, or
Uh,
can they take a semi-load, or aren't they that big?
No, they're only 1,000-gallon tanks.
Okay,
Synergy.
Yeah,
Diesel only.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
diesel only, we don't have gas.
okay.
Each of them have 1,000-gallon diesel tank. And a lot of times they'll fill up here too if they're around here, because it's
Yeah.
a little cheaper, because we have Sin Energy on keep fill for all those. And then they also are on a keep fill for, we have 55-gallon drums of DEF.
Okay.
In each outline shop, well, except for alcohol. Because this DEF is in every truck now, and it's another thing that we gotta have. And then at the end of the month, then they record all their numbers, how much fuel they put in all their trucks and stuff. And then it comes down to me and I put it together with the fuel report. So these numbers come right up from the fuel reports for, monthly back. So they should be really report.
But you remember, Brian, like years ago, like Senex had that little probe that went in the tanks that told somebody how much fuel was being used. You guys have that, or
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, we have.
okay, yeah, but do you know? how
Yeah,
much in
so
there?
they know exactly what's in the tanks.
Okay, well, good.
And, I don't have a way of looking at it, but he always sends me the numbers at the end, first of the month and the last of the month, so we have.
Okay.
For that figure. So that way they keep them. One less thing.
So is that actually RFD or is that, are they delivered by the local Oh,
The
no,
local.
okay. Cause they do have that, I think they still run that big truck, don't they, Gary? I don't know of anybody around here, oh, maybe not, maybe they eliminated it.
I guess I really don't know what they use for a truck.
No, that's fine, I was curious.
Well,
I shouldn't say everyone has 1,000, excuse me for that. There is the North Shop has 24. Of course, they have way more trucks.
Sure.
Cause I'm kinda dumb, but how many outlying areas do we have? Cause I know there's one west of Colfax, there's one 25 and 64 that I've seen and know about. Is there quite a few more?
Yeah, one
We have
voice,
5 total.
Voiceville,
Oh,
five
five.
total. One in Voiceville, one in O'Malley.
So it's pretty much all got a good location and plus you're in the center of it. Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, so, when the snow event and stuff, they've got fuel close,
Yeah.
and they've got the materials close. It's just a way better setup.
all the shops I'd say are about a half hour away on average
Okay.
from here.
And of course, we keep trucks at all those shops, so that the response time is a lot faster.
And we are in the process of replacing these tanks in the outline shops, these fuel tanks, because they're 30+ years old, if not older, and
Are they above ground or underground?
above ground.
They're above ground, double wall.
Yeah.
With the fishing. But they're out of date. I mean, as far as they're letting us get by with them, but as far as really, they should be upgraded.
So do you have to have a cement containment around it? I thought that'd be maybe,
No, with the double wall tank,
you can get by that way then.
there has to be some type of a barrier around them so somebody can't drive
Run
into
into
them.
Okay.
Yeah, when they're bollards or guardrail, and it's supposed to be fenced in. Which we have. Okay, I gotta go through this. We have 50-gallon brine tanks built to Osseo plastic. And we installed them on truck number 201, 202, and 203. Those are the interstate trucks and 29 trucks. The reason we did that was the brine capacity on those 3 trucks was only 460 gallons. And the state, the way they have their payment structure set up, is from 0 to 500, and it's 501 to 1,000. And there's an amount of difference in payment for those different categories. So we had the 50 gallons on there, and that brought us up to 510, which got us into the next category, which the hourly rate went from 37.22 to 53.10, which we gained about $15 an hour, 15.88. So that helped out some. And that's one of the reasons that we're, going with I think about 1,100 with the brine tanks and our 2 new trucks. Because it's 501 to the 1,000. So you get over that 1,000, that's some more revenue. Per hour. We did take that 22 Boomore tractor up to Tractor Center. They're busy, and sometimes months are supposed to be there. But we did take the Boomore right off in that store to make it fix it. And I mentioned last meeting, we're having transmission issues with the 50 grader. We took that over to the John Deere and Eau Claire, the McCoy, just for diagnostic to see what is wrong with it, supposed to let us know. I haven't heard anything back from them yet, but as expected, they're busy too. Universal had called and last week and and wanted to come down and lay out the equipment on the truck. We got one of our new trucks in the shop. And it really impressed me how far along they are on it already. And it was important the way we lay it out because of the fact that, we want to double duty these trucks by taking the underbody off in the spring.
Right.
And then put a pusher on them so we can utilize them in the summertime for haul. So everything has to sit, they're so tight as it is, everything has to be placed in a certain area. And the way they're going at it right now, I really think we'll see it in the early February, which is good, because then we can get a brine tank in it, get it out, and see how it works.
So when a new one comes, does the oldest one get sold or traded in or?
Yeah, we have trade-in values on all of them.
Okay, that's already figured in there.
That's already figured in and trade-in values, you know, and we feel that we won't get any more money for them.
And these trucks aren't our oldest trucks that we're trading in.
No.
It's the ones that are, I wouldn't say are problem child, but it's the ones that we put a lot of money into them.
And the reason when they're not, you know, the older ones are too far now, and we can't get any revenue out of them. You know, where these trucks are at the point where if we don't get rid of them now, we're gonna lose our equity. You know, so now is the time to, you know, pass them on, so we can get some money out of them to put into the new truck. I think the average is around 60,000 a piece of what we would.
Sure.
And that's not bad, they're the older Peterbilts, they're, so. And like Dustin said, they're not the oldest ones, but yet we're replacing them with Tanders, you know, for the state, and their state trucks. In the future, we're gonna have to, in the consideration on replacing our single axle trucks that are with our county fleet. Because we have 5 of those left that we're using that are really old, 2010 or older. So they're, you know, 14 years old already. And of course, the next one's a 2005. So
Sure.
But anyway, that looks really, really great. We did take a broom, which is kind of neat. That we got a broom from attachment from solid waste that they had used for their loader when they were done. And I had our welder mechanics out here, and they do a great job. They put a mount on it for lift it with the plow truck, and then we hosed it up to the valve bank in the truck, which is pretty simple. So now we have a front room for 2 of our plow trucks.
Nice.
Which really is nice for in an accident, you know, where you can take it out there and move it off. Or even in the summertime when we're doing the tune up on the shoulders.
Yeah.
You know, where you wanted to, you could utilize it for that. So that's a really good addition to the truck.
It was nice to get that. We've been on that for a while.
I was in a neighboring county probably was like right around Thanksgiving time, they were doing some shouldering. And, they had a sweeper machine out there, it looked like a little grader with the broom underneath it, and, but it cleaned the road right up. So having that would be really nice.
Yeah, it's a really good.
We have 2 sweepers, but sometimes when you gotta go
Yeah.
around, you got to Ridgeland or something.
Yeah.
They want a broom, it's a lot easier just to hook up to this and go.
Yeah. And we have 2 trucks currently that are set up for it. And they all would hook up to it, it's just that we have to run hydraulic lines to run the room itself. You know, we can utilize the up, down, and turn the same as the plow, it's the same plow, but as far as spinning the room. We look into the conveyor side of it that we're not using on the plow trucks. It's pretty simple, we didn't have to buy any valve. It wasn't that expensive. Time to get involved. Like Dustin's got up there, we did receive our 2 half-ton pickups, January 3rd. They're currently all back, we like to look at them, haven't done anything with it yet. Put radios in them, and lights and stuff set up, and they look really good. And we did receive the 1,100 gallon brine tanks that we got the picture of there. They're out back if you want to take a look at them. I think for the pickups. We have sent out for pusher axle bolts. Now Dustin has those for the 4 of them for the 4 new trucks that we're getting. So we come in the spring, we'll have them be able to hopefully have the truck.
Yeah.
You know, so we can, you know, get those mounted. And I did hand out specs for a new dozer that we had on our equipment list. I think Dustin can talk about that some too. We're also gonna, I've got it sent in Wisconsin surplus. And they're gonna list it, our old dozer on Wisconsin surplus. And the way we have it is, you guys have to make the final approval on whether you sell it or not. You want to sell it or not. And then we should have all the trade-in values back before that, so you can, you know, look at the trade-in values versus what we could So we have the trading values need to be back by the 13th, and then you guys need, or excuse me, the 10th. The 13th is when the auction would end, and the 14th is the committee meeting. So then you can look at everything and then yea or nay on the sale.
Trying to get the most bang for our buck.
Yeah,
Right.
If we get trading value that's better, or the auction's better, whatever, that's the way to do
So
it.
they'll let you hold it until then, huh?
yeah.
Well,
We
that's
can-
nice.
And it's only gonna be a day.
Yeah.
So we're
14th.
gonna have the auction end the day before the committee meeting.
Okay, the 13th then, okay.
And the
Right.
quotes are due back, I believe, on the 10th.
Oh, cool.
You know, so we can review those, so we know, what they're gonna give us for it, and, trading. And then we'll know what we're gonna get if we sell it on the auction, and neither one of them, I mean, we don't have to, we can keep it, we don't have to sell it on auction. We're not gonna trade it.
Right.
That's your guys' decision, which way you go, but it's, you're gonna get the best bang for your buck, because we're, by doing it that way.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, the big reason why we're trying to replace this dozer is we don't have cabs on the two current dozers. And for the safety of our employees, we need to have cabs on them. There's so much dust and dirt. that
Absolutely.
I'm not kidding, these guys were.
Trees,
spraying
rocks,
on
whatever.
stuff.
Everything.
Yeah.
And the dozer's close to trading from you, the 2009, and there's $4,300 on it, so now is a good time, in its lifespan to probably get the best.
Yeah, worth something, yeah.
So we'll have to see how that comes out.
So are you looking for the same size? Are you gonna increase it or just keep the same size?
Same size, just
Same size.
with a cab is the biggest
And
thing.
the personal protection thing.
So is this something that, is this something that we'll look for like a used one or looking brand new?
We would be looking brand new.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what the specs were set up exactly for what we have, right? Yeah, size blade and tracks and horsepower and everything, it's just basically with a cab.
Yeah.
Just so we get, all our skid steers have cabs. We have cabs, so we're setting pretty good with our other equipment.
Just most of the mower tractors,
Yeah, all of them, all but one, we don't use that one, we have cabs, so we've really been, over the years, been proactive on trying to get cabs.
Good idea.
Keep up with that. Yeah. So, yeah, and this would kind of fill in everything else, our loader, everything pretty much has cabs.
But you're in the spring and early fall, it's nice to be kind of warm inside, That's a big thing for
Well, we
me.
got those new pickups, we can't let guys get in there, they're all dirty either.
True story.
Right, right, so we hope all goes well there. And then also, I think Dustin's been talking to you about our current bucket truck. It did pass annual inspection here in the spring, but it's really getting, more. It's a 1992 model, and so that's 32 years old. So it probably would be in our best interest to update that.
I think the 2 times prior, didn't we have to do some work to make sure it did pass?
We always
Come back
do, and it's always a struggle.
like a magnetic.
Well, the dielectric test is a really hard one to get because of the inside the boom, a lot of sticks and stuff, come out from the trees and stuff we caught and gets inside just little tiny stuff. And even if the boom is dirty, it won't pass. A lot of times you have to actually wax the boom, the fiberglass section, in order to get it to pass. So, and the bucket too, the bucket. But when you do a bucket truck, their tests are strict. To get it. And we would like to replace it with a used one if we can. New ones are probably 250 to 300, which is the bottom line. Where a used one, we could probably pick up a 4 or 5 year old one, around that 100. Upgraded.
We have a lot of limit to do, and it's for the safety of the guys, I mean, that is old. They're made much nicer now.
Much user friendly, you know, than what we have. Ours doesn't really, you have to move it quite a bit where the newer ones, you know, they articulate different and sure, go up and down different.
More efficient.
Way more efficient. And safer.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
No cap.
Just in the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in the truck. Otherwise, we're just doing the, you know, regular maintenance and fixing little things that have happened. Nothing major, you know, has happened since last week, so that's good. And yeah, that's about it.
Looks like a little snow this weekend though.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Friday.
Keep it south.
Inch to that.
Oh, I hope it's,
But not much so, it sounded.
Friday looks like about 3 inches.
Huh.
Between, but they've been wrong every time, so
I thought it was supposed to do something tonight too.
there is a little bit tonight, about
An inch.
an inch or less.
So how much does it have to be snow before you can plow it? Like 1 inch, all you're doing is wearing out your blades and not really
Yeah,
doing
like
anything.
the state, we gotta go out no matter what.
Okay,
On the state, they want those bare wet, pretty much, especially on the interstate.
Yeah.
So we gotta go out anytime on there, like, I honestly have only called the county out one time. That was for the freezing rain during the holiday weekend.
Yeah.
That I called them out for, but otherwise the county has not come in on overtime at all except for one time. That is about 20 to 30 times less than last year already.
It's good for the county, but not good for the employees' pocketbooks.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
They're,
Pushing my
They don't like
buttons.
that.
But I said,
they
"Hey,
want to be called in for a dusting right now.
They would
Well,
love
their
to.
comp time up.
I saw 3 flakes when I was walking in.
Yeah, I had guys going, hey, it's snowing, you know, I said, it's fine.
so they can take comp time then instead of overtime?
Yes.
Up to 60 hours.
Well, that's, a week and a half then, they
Yep.
can, you know, if they have a trip planned or something.
It is nice for them. We're good.
It's a good benefit.
We're all, yeah,
Depends on who you ask.
don't ask Dustin.
Don't ask me.
No, I mean, it's good. It's good for them and it's a little perk they have and it's a good one to keep for them.
Are there any kind of, you know, restrictions put on it? So it's not really at a busy time, you know, they take off
Oh,
or they
they're
can,
all pretty good. I mean,
they know,
they, if I need them, they're not gonna take it.
okay,
You know, they're all good about it.
It's good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are guys that have vacations and they're gone and we know ahead of time, but we got guys that cover for them. But, so no, it'll be fine this weekend. I hope it's not. I'm not in here too late so I can get over and beat Dustin and some beanbags at his deal that he's got.
Hopefully it's not on Saturday.
That truck's all last, just paid.
Yeah.
I was on call and it generally snows when I'm on call.
Usually him and I.
Yeah, I
Get
told
them all.
Dustin he'd save money if I wasn't on call.
It never
But he
snowed.
is saving money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you-
saving
you and I.
money with you and I on call. But, no, I think it's been I love the winter. I wish it would stay like this all the time. I mean, man, it's been good to get a lot of other things done
I agree.
and everybody can see it, I think, on our end out there.
especially the pocketbook way it looks, you know, really
Yeah.
makes
Well,
a
yeah.
little bit different.
The
like you
beginning
do
of
for,
2023.
the financial.
Yes.
January,
I'm trying to
February.
count up how many
So this is
miles
all
we pay.
Well, I tell our crew, for every 1 ton of salt we put down, it's 2 feet less asphalt. we put down.
Yeah.
So they gotta work to do that.
I gotta go meet
We're
a
up to
guy, if
7
you guys
feet.
are good. You guys are good?
I got a-
Okay,
Go ahead, guys.
Any questions?
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thanks for the info.
Yeah, we'll continue through the agenda here. I'll just go through some of the engineering project updates. So our County Road D project, from 420th to K, that's our STP project. That's scheduled to be completed in 2025. Construction, so we are finalizing the real estate, for that, project. There's 17 parcels that we needed to purchase, either new right-of-way or easements or trees, landscaping, stuff like that. So there's 17 parcels. I believe there's all but one or two that are completed right now. So, anticipated 2025 construction with that. County Road B project from 1229 to Packer Drive, that's both the north phase and south phase. All the railroad agreements have been finalized and completed. I'm happy as my hair can start growing back. We do have one little parcel that we had to purchase from the railroad for widening the radiuses at the intersection of Badger Drive. They have agreed to this purchase agreement. We just have to get the check cut and sent to them. But other than that, everything is ready to go for construction, and hopefully May is when we're anticipating for both of these projects. So JT Engineering, who's the consultant that we have hired on the north phase, as well as the DOT hired on the south phase, they will be doing the construction oversight. They are reviewing the shop drawings for the electrical boxes, traffic signal, street lighting, that has such a long lead time from getting the materials, so they want to get it approved right away, and it could take up to a year is what they tell me to get some of these materials, what it was taking. So hopefully we're not running down that path. Both projects were awarded the north phase from I-94 to Packer Drive. Chippewa Concrete got that project. That is our local project, so I awarded it to Chippewa last month. The south project from 1229-994, Haas and Sons got that. Both contractors work together. Chippewa Concrete is actually going to do the concrete work for Haas on the south phase, so they're going to be working together. So that was good to see. Like I said, schedule right. We're hoping for a May 1st start date. If earlier, so be it. But May 1st is our tentative schedule for construction. County Road Z project, 90th to County Road D, that we have tentatively scheduled for starting sometime in the spring of 2024. Isaac completed the survey data for that particular project. We are looking at the intersection of County Road Y in particular. We've had a couple residents concerned with the sight distance at that intersection that comes out to County Road Z. There is a cemetery there, and then we are looking at some drainage improvements going towards County Road D. So like I said, that we're anticipating that sometime in spring.
Is there trees and brush around there? Pulling out or what?
No, it's basically just the grade.
Oh,
So there's kind of a dip coming in there, so we're gonna look at maybe either raising the intersection or cutting some hills so we can get some visibility there. So like I said, it should be very minimal. Just wanted to mention the Judicial and Government Center pedestrian trail. So Isaac has been working on putting the design together for that. I don't know if you're aware of it. I don't know if that's been brought to your attention, but we're looking at connecting the pedestrian trail from Lookout Road, which is by Prevea, in front of the neighbors, through the Government Center area, through the Judicial, and then hooking up with Stokey Parkway.
So this is different in road you done on the north side of it.
Correct. Yeah, this is be a different project.
It'll be paved in or cemented in or?
Yeah, we'd be looking at paving it, and we were discussing this yesterday with some of the crew members. We do have concerns our paver's too big to maybe go off-road with it. So we may have to look at, maybe either renting a paver or asking the city. I know they got an old dinosaur that's a heck of a lot lighter than ours, but maybe just asking for some assistance when we get to that phase. Chris,
we talked about doing that. I mean,
Yep.
there was conversation about it, wasn't
yeah, and Chris and I and, admin staff, we're basically, we're gonna have an announcement to the public, just to let everybody know what's happening when they see us coming in there and doing some work, asking questions, what's going on, so. We do have to remove some of the trees between the judicial center and the government center on that hillside. Cause we're trying to get this off of road right away where it's more flat up there.
So your city has got that walking trail or biking trail all around, would that connect them?
Yes, this will all be connections.
So would there be any, financial aid from the city, long as it's in the city as part of their plan, the recreational plan?
That's something between Chris and the city.
They're actually paying half.
Oh, well, okay,
Good.
it's better than kicking a hind end. I guess we're recording now.
Well, that's okay. You didn't say anything wrong.
No, I mean, I agree, any support we can
Yeah.
get, and it's good for everybody, so. Yeah, more information to come on that, obviously, so.
And
I
the only
believe
other
we're
question
posting it
I
next
would
week.
have is that land that you had to buy from the railroad, that little parcel, were they fair on it, or were they just trying to,
So we set the appraised value of it,
okay,
and that's what, we offered, I think we offered $800 for it, and
oh, okay.
they counter offered at 1,000. So we gave
I
it
thought it'd be
$1,000.
a big, price, but say.
Mind you, this is a very, very, very small parcel. It's like a little purple triangle that's like a tenth of an acre. It's very small. But, I just wanted to present this, like I said, this is the big meat and potatoes, of the big complicated part of our County Road B project. So this is the final plan. It gets a little complicated there, but, that's the railroad crossing. As you can see, the cross arms that are gonna be installed. Currently, there is no cross arms there. You'll see there'll be an entire cross arm for 3 lanes of traffic, going northbound, as well as, cross arms for 3 lanes of traffic going southbound, plus the turn lane. There's gonna be cross arms there. It's gonna be a very complicated mess, is what I'm gonna say.
Mm.
And then, on the bottom right-hand corner there, that is our lighting traffic signal plan. Like I said, it looks like a lot, but it just shows where the traffic signals are gonna be, placed, and all the electrical conduit that goes to each one of them, so.
So is this gonna improve the access for like, exit 45, like your Synergy and for Love and that?
Absolutely.
To make it more convenient and more safe for them, supposedly.
Yep, they'll be able to get out, with the traffic signals. I know a lot of
Will
times.
there be lights on that side between interstate? I don't know, I come out of there, sometimes you gotta wait,
Yeah, a lot of times if you wanna turn left going south, you almost have to go north to go south.
Yeah, right.
or if you're brave, go out to the intersect, the middle, and kind of wait,
But
that's a good idea. That is-
The radiuses are a lot bigger. We are gonna have a median in front of exit 45, so that little entrance that goes into exit 45, you're not gonna be able to come out of there. You'll have to
Okay.
actually take the one that's further to the east to get out, just because of the close proximity. We did work with them. They wanted to keep that access. I actually wanted to eliminate it, but prior to me being in this position, that was the agreement they made, so.
So that is owned by Synergy then, that road?
Honestly, nobody knows who owns it.
Okay. Okay.
When the interstate interchange was built, that was put in, so we're under the understanding that it's the DOT's.
Mm.
Nobody will take ownership of it.
Mm.
So right now, Synergy, I think, maintains it.
Okay.
Red Cedar does not, City of Menominee doesn't, and we are definitely not doing it, so. But, like I said, I just wanted to present that to you. Just give you a staff, update, so the new, engineering tech position, we did post that for filling that position. We only received 1 application. It is currently ongoing. The one applicant that did submit an application, I did, give them a verbal offer, which I will know probably here by the end of the week if they're accepting it. It's a very difficult position, as we know, we are competing with a very strong private sector currently in the engineering world. When there's a lot of money put in transportation, with the federal government putting a lot of money in transportation, private sector engineering firms are paying top dollar to get people in the door.
So why would you need this position when we got like Mr. Steinmeier? Is
Yeah,
that
so
a
I,
very new position?
yes, so this was a position that was created, and this was approved by county board. Basically taking the load off of Isaac, and myself. So I'm basically helping out with a lot of the engineering stuff,
Yeah, that's right.
trying to get Isaac more involved with it, and then also having some field work, help and assistance. Cause right now Isaac's doing it all. He's doing the survey work, he's doing the design work, he's doing everything. He's estimating, he's only one individual. So if you burn out somebody too much, they leave.
Yep.
So I can't ill afford to have Isaac leave. So that is what, we're currently looking at. And like I said, if it might be a situation where we may not be able to fill this position for a while. We are looking at, the possibility if this candidate doesn't accept it, we may reach out to the CVTC program, Stout, to see if the possible summer internship. And maybe we can get somebody in the door that way. So we're exploring our options. Herbicide spraying, so I have elected to, spray this year in 2024 versus mowing. I know it's a controversy sometimes, but I think our staff needs to do a better job of communicating and watching the weather forecasts. If we're predicting rain in the evening hours or whatever, or high winds, we don't spray. Instead of spraying every day, and it may take 2 weeks, maybe it takes us 3 weeks to do it. But I just wanted to present, obviously the cost breakdown, and I'm just going strictly off of cost, for reasoning of going for spraying versus mowing. So mowing in 2023, cost us about $248 a mile, and that's both sides of the roads,
One trip.
one trip. And then $145 a mile to spray. We can all agree the spraying's not perfect, and neither is mowing. We mow just exclusively on the state, and unfortunately, we have those seasonal grasses that we can't deter by stunting them, come up in late summer. In particular, seasonal blue stem grasses, which is a prairie grass. That usually takes off right at the end of July, early August. And obviously when we're spraying, it's in May. We are looking, I've talked to For Control, who we buy our herbicide chemicals from. There's a possibility of doing a wicking application that we could do late summer. And from what I was told, it would be very, very small amounts of herbicides. Like we could probably do the whole county in 10 gallons. If we were to do this wicking method. They're in the process. We're not the only county that has this concern. Like I said, when we were talking from previous, we spray, works great for about the first 2 months, and then all of a sudden we get into late summer and all of a sudden we got 6 feet tall grass on the side of the roads. It was happening with even mowing. And like I said, we were looking at the possibility of mowing later, but I did the cost breakdown and I was like, well, I'm gonna try to save as much money as possible, so.
Well,
Like I
I'm
said-
gonna go on the record as being against it, but that's here nor there.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all.
And like I said, I know and I told, the individuals that do our spraying, we have 4 employees that are certified to spray, and I've asked them, I've said, we gotta watch the weather, we gotta be more proactive. If we we know of an organic farmer that doesn't want us to spray, we don't spray. If there's issues, I mean, we can work with, landowners. We don't spray in people's front yards. We don't do that.
Yeah, I'm, that isn't what bothers me. I like the mowing.
Yep.
It looks better and it does a better job, but I'm just one.
Yep.
So are you going further out on the right of way with spraying as compared to mowing? Are you, or both
So
the same distance?
these cost comparisons, I wanted everything to be apples to apples. So we mowed 10-foot swath and we
Okay.
sprayed an 11-foot swath, so roughly the same. And that was the cost breakdown. The one thing that's not included with these mowing costs is I can't put a dollar amount to it, but I would beg to say, every day we mow, the next day that mower's in the shop. There's always something broke down on these mowers, constantly.
There's a lot of junk in the ditches sometimes, you know?
Absolutely.
You get a rock or whatever.
So I mean, like I said, when we can spray the entire county, we can spray it in 2 weeks. If we mow the entire county, it takes us 2 months. So like I said, these tractors and mowers are constantly in here. I mean, it's ridiculous, and if there was a better solution, if we could mow with something not with,
Maybe get the old sickle mower back out.
I don't know, like I said,
Sections with them.
Yeah.
it's usually the mower, it's not the tractor, I mean, but, like I said, like you said, there's a lot of junk in the ditches. When you're mowing 3 feet, 4 foot tall grass, and you can't see everything.
Right,
you
you
hit
can't see
something,
nothing, yeah.
barbed wire, there's whatever is in there, and just, nothing's perfect. So like I said, we're gonna be more proactive. I'm gonna put a media post out. We're gonna do everything we can. Like I said, if individuals wanna mow their ditches and maintain them without us having to spray, we'll work with them, so.
So the first thing that comes to mind when I hear you say spraying with herbicides and stuff is, obviously with the concern for our land and stuff like that. Maybe in your post, put something that, I'm sure this is all environmental friendly
Yep.
now. I mean, the solutions have changed. It's
Yeah,
not
so
the old
these are all
the old
non-restricted.
poisonous stuff that we,
And drink it.
yeah.
You can drink it.
But I think that'd be
Eco-friendly.
important aspect, cause that's gonna lessen the phone calls to you. I would
Correct.
imagine,
And,
of what
and
you're
actually,
doing.
there's a county, I believe it's Dodge County, has put together a very good media post.
Yeah.
And they show everything. Like I said, these are non-restrictive chemicals.
Yeah.
No different than what
They're really not,
farmers apply on the fields and stuff like that. Pretty similar to stuff, but,
really not killing it, it's stunting it.
what the ultimate goal is, we're trying to combat invasive species.
Invasive species, yeah.
Cause like I said, that's more harmful than anything.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's wild parsnip, you get into that, it'll eat your skin, and it's not good. We're trying to get the DOT on board. It involves everybody, not just the county and the towns. The towns are all doing it, the counties are doing it, but the state needs to get involved. And like I said, when we mow, we're spreading it, we're taking it everywhere. It does not harm milkweed. There's proof in that, so it does not harm the butterflies. I know that's a big concern.
The pollinators, that's what everybody is concerned about. And I even had a guy for the township, that he was concerned that we're cutting too much in the ditches and taking the milkweed out,
I know there's like Fork Control has said, we don't want pollinators next to the road,
Well, that's,
because we're hitting them with our cars every day. Like, just look at all the bugs you got on your front
yeah,
windshields. So if we can have the pollinators off the roadways, is what we really want. But,
explain that to the public.
no, I realize that.
Same with the deer.
Yeah,
I mean, there's many ways of looking at
No,
it,
it
so.
makes sense.
But like I said, we're gonna try to do everything in our power to try to eliminate any concern. And like I said, we're gonna be proactive with it. And make it known what we're doing. Financial team changes, so we did have a manager that oversees our highway financials, resign. So we're currently in the process, working with, Beata and finance team, to fill that void in the transition. As you know, there was a, highway finance manager position created, this year for somebody internal to take that position. So we're in that process of trying to do that. But with the departure, it kind of came a little bit quicker and more of a shock, and we're all kind of, was that?
Who was it?
Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
That's too bad.
like I said, she was overseeing the highway financials, but, we have the staff capable of doing it, so we're just trying to get everything together right now. We're trying to get all the SAP, approval system, being able to have access to all this, for other employees. So we're giving them to try to give the support that they need in this transition. So Beata's working very diligently to try to get this all squared away, and like I said, it is what it is, but, like I said, we're quite capable of transitioning, so. I just wanted to make everybody aware of the situation. Highway financials, so as you can see, the number on the right-hand side there increased. We were originally, looking at right around that 3.2 is what we were projecting, and went up to 4.7. As you can see down on the breakdown, down at the bottom, I've kind of explained the situation of why that number is so large. Because when individuals see $4.7 million of surplus, it's like, well, why do you need the budget you did, and whatnot. So of that 4.7, 2.7 of it was allocated for our County Road B projects that we did not utilize. The tandem axle trucks that we had for purchase in 2023 didn't show up, so there's another about $550,000 right there. We sold $918,000 worth of crushing equipment, so there's almost another $1 million right there. So of that, it comes to, I believe, if you add all those up, it's like 4.2 million, I believe it is, if you add all those up, that we have in the budget that we did not utilize, but we will be carrying forward for the B project. We will be carrying forward for our tandem axle trucks that we haven't purchased. And we, like I said, we sold the crushing equipment, which almost counted $1 million.
So you have to come before the county board for a carryover then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that process starts here in February, I believe, so. But yeah, like I said, there'll be carry forward, dollars, coming forward, and like I said, that number will be a lot smaller than it looks. So, like I said, I just wanted to point that out, cause like I say, if you see that number, everybody gets excited and wants to know why. I don't wanna have a budget that's $5 million that we don't use every year. It just doesn't look good, so. There's our expenses totaled, roughly about $12.8 million worth of expenses. And there's our revenue of approximately 17 million. So.
If I can go back to your comment about not having $5 million every year, to me, this is already earmarked money, like it's spent, basically. You know what I'm saying? And due to circumstances of a project getting pushed and not getting equipment due to ramifications probably from the pandemic or whatever, with equipment accessibility and stuff. And this isn't a normal, every year this happens, you know what I mean? So it's like, hey, to me, I get it. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me, and I think to me, it's a job well done where we didn't overspend, where you possibly could have overspent. You know, like, hey, we're just gonna do this, plow forward, and, you know, we took into account that, you know, we're gonna do this project out here right, so it's done the right way. You know, it's a big project. It's a lot of volume out there, you know, with everything moving about within our county and coming into our county, which, you know, to me generates revenue for our county in the long run, and, then obviously the equipment. So anyway, to me, I think it's like not that big a deal, you know, that it's gonna carry over and it's.
Yeah, I mean.
Again, if it was, to me, if it happened for a fourth year in a row, you know, then maybe we gotta look into what's going on here, okay, but we're still recovering and the price is crazy, and now we've gotten a break with our weather, you know, finally maybe let us catch up a smidgen, you know, and so anyway, just wanted to make that comment about
Yeah, and
how I view that personally,
and just so you're aware too, it's very, very difficult for me to budget a lot of these projects that are those 80-20 match,
yeah.
because they will last like 5 years before they are complete. So we start a lot of these projects, the engineering phases and all that stuff, 3 years in advance before it actually takes place. I find it's easier for me to budget it from day one. So if we say the engineering costs are gonna be $100,000, I budget for $100,000.
Yeah.
And I will carry forward that
Exactly.
year after year after year. And it's hard for me to guess.
To me-
Well, this year you're only gonna spend 20, next year you're gonna spend 30, and the next year after that.
I guess
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
trying to say in my mind, carrying money forward like that, it's good. Just me.
So by having those two projects postponed for a year, did we actually kind of gain a little bit on money because it's coming in a little bit like less than what was projected?
So the original estimates back in 2022 that were performed for 2023 construction were very, very similar to what were actual. That we actually got bid proposals for in 2023.
Okay. So we're actually getting them built at 2022 prices, not 2023 prices.
We unfortunately, we budgeted for construction in 2024 price, based on 2023 prices,
Okay,
but the bids came in at 2022 prices. So like I said, it's one of those, it's a crapshoot, you never know what it's gonna be.
Right, how do you know? Yeah.
I mean, if I could budget after
Oh,
after
yeah.
the proposed bids were
Be
put in,
easier, wouldn't
it would be great.
kind of like selling corn.
Yeah, it is.
If I could, like, know at the end of the year when I should have sold.
Uh-huh.
You get in the ditches farther, wouldn't you?
Come on now, we're not gonna start that.
No.
You're outnumbered here too, let's let you know.
I'm all for it.
That'd be something to kind of, that the whole board would be kind of like interested that, you know, that we actually save a little money on that major project.
Absolutely, like I said, it's a project thing.
Right.
That concludes my long-winded report.
Okay, anybody have any other questions for Dustin on this report?
I've asked way too many questions.
No, that's how you learn, Gary.
You think I'd learn faster though?
I'm not going there. All right, we'll go to number 7, approval of vouchers. Anybody have any concerns with any of them? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the vouchers?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? Second. Are there any questions on the vouchers? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving them, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Sealed coat aggregate proposals.
So in your packet, I didn't have it in our original packet that I sent out, because the proposals were actually due yesterday. We only received one proposal for aggregate, from Haas Sons. It's the same aggregate that we've been utilizing for the last 3-4 years. So we know the material. the price of it went up about 50 cents per ton from previous, but it is still in the ballpark. I don't know why we only received one. I don't know if other contractors are just not submitting them because they know that we go with this material the last 3-4 years. I don't know, so. It's a very good blackish blue granite. What we utilize, what I like about the product is it knits in very well, stays on the road. We have less sweepings that come off afterwards. And I hate to say it, it gives a misconception that the road's brand new.
Yeah.
You put it down when it's dark material, dark rock. So, that would be my,
You're good with the increased price or whatever, I mean, like, it makes sense to you?
it, like I said, it's in the ballpark. I mean, if it went $5 a ton, I would say no, or we're gonna rebid this. And what I'm looking at is the reason why we went and bid this early is I want our trucks to haul it. So we would take our 5 quads literally next week, start hauling material in here.
Oh, yeah, oh, okay.
Every county's doing it, Pierce, St. Croix, they're all getting it from the same quarry and they're already ahead of the ballgame, so.
Okay.
Now's the time to do it. I hate to say it, we're looking for work, let's just say that.
Yeah.
We're not plowing snow, we need,
Keep you guys busy.
keep them busy, so.
Sure. Is there a motion to approve this proposal?
I'll make a motion to approve the proposal to go with the Silco aggregate as requested and proposed.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made and seconded. Are there any other questions? Concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, pusher axle proposals.
So in your packet, we sent out proposals for 4 pusher axles for the new 4 tandem axle trucks that we were supposed to receive in 2023, but we're looking at just trying the 4 trucks. Like I said, I want to get into not outfitting all of our trucks this way, but just make sure we're doing it properly before we go any further. So like Dan said before, we would be removing the underbodies in the springtime of the year, putting these pushers axles on, so we can utilize them for hauling in the summertime. And then take the pusher axle off and then put the underbody on in the winter. Tell me it's about a 2-hour process to take the underbody on and off. Taking their word for it, so. So we got 2 quotes, proposals from Universal and Indian Head. As you can see, Universal came in low proposal at $25,800 for 4 pusher axles.
And they're doing the other work too, right on the new trucks?
Yes. The pusher axles would come here, and then we would be.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So we would just be buying it from Universal.
I see.
Are they the same company that built these pushers? Or don't you know?
So Universal makes their own.
Oh, they do?
I don't know where Indian Head gets them, but if
Okay,
you look, Universal's is actually bigger. It has a 13,500-pound capacity versus Indian Head's is 13.2.
oh, sure, okay,
I don't know if that 300 pounds makes a huge difference, but,
okay.
I guess that would be my suggestion is we would, approve, Universal's proposal at that 25,800 for the 2 pusher axles. This was budgeted in our CIP, request for equipment. I think we had budgeted 40,000 for it. So it came in less than what we estimated.
So I'll make a motion that we go with the low bid for the pusher axles, which is Universal truck equipment.
In a second,
That's second.
motion made and seconded to go with Universal for the pusher axles. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Used bucket truck purchase.
So in the last, I want to say it's probably the last page in your packet. So this is our list of the approved CIP that full county board approved for purchasing new equipment in 2024. In the budget, we had allocated $100,000 for a used bucket truck. Like I said, I don't wanna purchase a new one based on our use. I would say we use it, 25% of the year, if that, like I said, it's something I don't feel we need to invest a lot in. So Dan and I, we've kind of been looking around, on auction sites, Iron Planet is a good one. We may have to go out of state to purchase something like this, but as Dan mentioned, we have a current bucket truck, which is 1992, has over 4,000 hours on it. It's not user friendly, it's an articulate, that's I don't know how they over knuckle bucket where you gotta extend it way up and then come over, it's not user friendly. And we have had issues with trying to get it certified year after year. So what I'm looking for is, obviously, if we are looking at purchasing on an auction, it's kind of spur of the moment. I can't say to have a committee meeting.
Just
We got
before
one.
you bid last.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So what I was looking at is having me have the authority to purchase a used bucket truck if one comes on an auction at any given time. Could be tomorrow for all I know.
Right.
At that limit of $100,000 that we have budgeted.
So I just have a question, mostly to learn here, okay? Is a bucket truck something that, a piece of equipment like a bucket truck, we're talking about that right now. I mean, is that something that, because of how often or not often that you use it, is it leasable? Is that something that, is there anywhere out there that leases them, that makes any sense to do it that way?
The problem I have.
We don't have to incur the cost of fixing it.
The
You know what I
issue,
mean?
the issue with the lease, it might be an option. We have not looked into it, but a lot of times it's spur of the moment when we need it.
Okay.
So if we have a storm event,
Yep,
all of a
yep,
sudden,
that makes sense.
we have to go out with the bucket truck.
Yep.
That's the biggest issue we have.
Yep. Makes sense to me, so I just was curious about that.
Cause a lot of times, isn't,
Yeah, go ahead.
if there's a tree that might be on private land, but the limbs come way over, so
Yeah.
then you can at least get that, so it doesn't.
Yeah,
affect the traffic.
I didn't think about the storm factor and usage.
Yeah, and like I
Which
said,
makes
there's an
perfect
option of
sense.
maybe leasing it for a full year, but it would just be here, but I don't know. If
Yeah.
they're-
That might not make any sense. I'm just curious.
And we really haven't had a lot of maintenance on it. It's
Yeah.
just, the problem we have is just trying to get certifying them,
Yeah,
the continuity and all that. Obviously, you gotta wax the bucket, you gotta have all this, so you're close to power lines, which our employees are not close to power lines. They know that they're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
So we are actually, we're looking actually for a forestry bucket truck.
Oh,
So not an actual utility bucket truck, so these are forestry bucket trucks that, where you can actually, they have a hoist on the back, they have where you can blow chips in the back of
Yeah.
it. It has a lot user-friendly bucket, system on it. We've been finding them, like I said, used ones right around that 2013, 2015 range. I know Dan's been seeing a lot of them over in Michigan, there's
UP, I suppose.
Massachusetts, a lot of places.
not in the city.
No.
I tried to tell them, let's find one down south so we can all take vacation.
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna volunteer.
There's every angle was in there.
Hey, we did travel to New Mexico to get 2 graders.
I was thinking that, yeah, that'd be a perfect trip.
To the UP.
No, so,
Been there.
you tell us what state you wanna go to, and we'll start just looking at it exclusively. But no, that's what we'd be looking at, is like I said, just a used bucket truck and being able to have the option. Giving me the authority to purchase, on a used auction site with $100,000 limit on it.
What's your thoughts, guys? Your motion to that effect?
Would there be a trade-in then, at that time, or would that be sold separately?
So that would be sold separately.
Okay,
So we would be selling our current bucket truck, but obviously we can't do anything until we have something in
Right.
place. What we would get for it, I think we had a limit, I think we had a value of like 10 grand on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's,
When you sell something like that, Dustin, does it have to be pass all inspections?
Or as is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know that for sure,
Okay.
but obviously if we would put it on an auction site, we would let everybody know it has passed inspections, but.
Right. And
I could say that it's gonna be, 5 years down the road, it may not, I don't know,
Yeah.
so.
Well, that I understand, so.
Okay. I'll make a motion to give Dustin authority to bid on them.
My second.
Motion made and seconded. Are there any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Opposed? Carried. Number 8,
This is already paid for,
so considerations of resolutions and ordinances. Next meeting date will be February 14th, 2024.
And what else would that date be?
I don't know.
the day we all get candy,
Yeah.
Right, that's what it is, right?
special gifts.
There's nothing else, guys. We're adjourned.